This is a good time to get into the Black Wall Street Report and talk about money and investment with former investment banker and the founder of Kids Who Bank. It's an amazing organization that has financial literacy classes for young people in 217 schools nationwide. If you'd like to bring Kids Who Bank to your school to teach your children about money, or maybe you need to learn about money, go to info@kidswhobank.org. In the meantime, please give your attention to Jatali Bellanton, fresh from Africa. Welcome back, Jatali.
Hey Rakia, just got back from Ghana.
You don't sound like it. You sound like it depressed you. That's how you sounded. Hey, Rakia. Or did you just get off the plane? Is there still a time difference?
You know what happened? I've been back for a week and this cold in New York City is kicking my tush. I came from 90
Oh.
degrees almost every day and bringing my son to the pool or, having some kind of pool time every day. And then you get back to New York City and Mother Nature's like, take this 20-degree
Uh-uh.
weather.
I can imagine. I don't want to imagine.
Yeah, it's kind of depressing.
This is why I live in LA. I'm just saying.
I mean, you know what? I've been contemplating the move to like either LA or Fort Lauderdale.
Mm.
And realistically, I could see that happening, especially after this trip, because
Yes.
I'm just over
I
winter.
know.
I'm really.
That is a big determining factor. I mean, if you can do it, come on over. You, your baby, your husband. I could use some more friends. So just let me know.
I'm about to throw everybody in a basket and just
Come on. You could transfer schools out here. They got some good law schools out here on the West Coast. I'm just saying.
yeah, but you see, what's gonna happen is I'm not trying to add to my time, so I'm gonna wait till the bar,
Oh,
and
okay.
after I pass the bar, then I'll transfer out.
How many more years do you have? Jatali's in law school.
I have only 1 year left.
Slow clap for her.
Thank you.
Working to be a lawyer. Dopeness. And so, but Africa was fun, yeah?
Oh, it was beyond fun. It was needed. It was a reset button. So we're building a youth art museum out in Ghana and, just gonna have classes like e-commerce and things of that nature, vocational skill classes. And so just being there physically and getting to connect with the people who we'll be catering to was really amazing.
Nice.
And then just confirming that this is where I want to build this.
Nice.
Yeah. So, people are like, oh, but you're Cape Verdean. Why do you want to build in Ghana? And I'm like, first off, Cape Verde is West Africa. So, love to Africa, period.
Right.
You don't have to go back to exactly where on the continent you're from, in my opinion, to build, right?
Right.
You go where you have a connection, you go where tourism is respected. And right now, I love how Ghana has aggressively been putting tourism on the forefront. So, we're investor,
Wow.
that's what we do.
And that wasn't the only country you went to.
No, so we did Dubai and Ghana.
Nice. Dubai. I got to get to Dubai. I hear Dubai is like Black woman Mecca. That's what they say. That's what they say.
It's the first time I'm hearing that one.
So what you got? This is the first Black Wall Street report of 2020. What are you teaching us today? Where's our money going in 2020 and how can we increase it this year?
So honestly, people tend to like when I suggest books that I have in my arsenal. And so I wanted to list the top 3 books for investors to have in 2020 in their arsenal. Just need to add to your archives. So that's what I'm starting with for 2020. It's books, education, knowledge is power. So number 1 is Why Didn't They Teach Me This in School by Carrie Siegel.
Wait, that's what it's
It's
called.
literally called.
Did a black woman write this?
I don't know if Carrie Siegel is black
Oh,
or a
that sounds
woman or a
Jewish.
man.
Single.
Yeah.
Sounds Jewish. Why didn't they teach me this in school? That's an easy book to remember. And what is it about?
Let's tell you, it touts 99 money management principles to live by.
Okay.
And that's actually technically the subtitle of the book. It's really straightforward, but honestly, the principles that are in it are principles that I've lived by, and it was great to just see everything kind of in a book. So if you're like a college student, a newer investor, you could be in your 50s or 60s and you just never took investing seriously. Before you do, I would definitely say like this is a good way to kind of segue into investing.
All right, cool. So what else you got?
So then the second book is Broke Millennial Takes on Investing by Erin Lowry. One thing I've noticed is that once, like the other book was saying, it's not taught in schools, right? So in that book, I just remember thinking that there was no idea where to start, and this book really starts you on where exactly to start to help leveling up your money, because you don't realize where to start, how to invest it, where can you actually multiply your money.
So this is like a novice book for those that haven't begun investing yet.
No, it's more for a book who's already started investing, but you haven't
Mm-hmm.
officially invested properly. So you're in the beginning phases of investing, you might have saved 100,000 or even 50,000, but now you want to take that 100,000 and break past that.
What millennials have saved 100,000, 50,000? I thought millennials were broke, according to stuff that I read.
I don't believe that. I honestly don't, because most of the millennials that I've met here in my age group, honestly, they're all kind of doing it, and at least all of them have at least, $50,000, I would say, in savings.
In their 30s, but you're a little different. You work in the finance sector. So are you basing this off your circle, or because I know plenty of broke millennials? Like,
I know a lot of broke people who are in their 50s. I mean, we're going to always have that, but to dive in further,
this is a fact.
for instance, in the ending of 2019, before I went away to Ghana, I did a workshop for teachers who were all millennials, right? The oldest teacher was 37 years old. The youngest one was 27, 28.
Mhm.
And they all had at least $35,000 in their savings.
Wow. Wow. What is the name of this book again?
So Broke Millennial Takes on Investing.
Broke Millennial Takes on Investing by who?
Erin Lowry.
Aaron Lowry?
Yes.
Okay. What's next? What's your third book?
The third book is for the person who is a high paid professional or a high paid investor. And that book is called The White Coat Investor.
The White Coat Investor. Okay.
Yes. And that's by James Dolly. And now this book, you think white coat, you think about being a doctor, right? And oftentimes when you think of someone being a doctor, they're quote unquote a high paid individual. And what
Right.
I liked about that book is that once you're a high paid professional and you're making more money, how do you properly invest and make sure you're retaining that money? Because now your taxes are higher, right? So
Right.
to give an
Right.
example, what stuck out in that book, which I felt like was across the board, anyone who's investing and making more money can learn from is, one, how do you retain that? How do you pay less taxes legally?
Mhm.
How do you retain more of that money? And now, how do you live within your means, even though on paper you're making more money? So,
Interesting.
and I love that book just because of that. Oftentimes people say, "Oh, I'm a doctor, I'm an attorney, I make 100, 300,000 a year." That's great. If you're an entrepreneur, you're making a certain amount of money, but now how do you live within that means? Does that mean you go and buy $1 million house? And one of the things tackled in that book is, well, guess what? Because you make 300,000 doesn't mean now you go buy a house that's worth 1.5 million,
That's true.
right?
That's true. What's the name of this book?
And that book is The White Coat Investor by James Dolly.
James Dolly.
James, Dahle. I don't know if it's pronounced Dahl or Dolly.
Doll. That actually author sounds familiar to me. Very good. Very good. Jatali giving us tips for increasing our knowledge in 2020 to help us with investing is always a beautiful thing. I want to get into our next news story, Jatali. I wanted to pick your brain on it since you just came back from the motherland. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Because I know you got things to do. I know you'd be like, I need to go teach a class on investing.
Whatever.
Whatever.